on our big broadcast. We are coast to coast, border to border on iHeartRadio today. We have got a great guest joining us here via the magic of Skip Skype, the old Skype-a-rooney. And George, welcome to the program. How are you, sir?
Good, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, George, give us a little bit on your background, my friend. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm actually an author. I've done several cookbooks, but I'm also a big fan of the 80s. And I love, as a kid, I always loved George Michael.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. And, he died. He died on Christmas Day. It'll be 5 years this year. So I thought it'd be cool to do a tribute to him for this year to George Michael.
So tell us a little bit about this tribute and everything.
Well, right now I did a book, and it's called George Michael, the Singing Greek, because George Michael was Greek and he was also British. And the similarity is that I'm also Greek and American, so we had a lot of similarities too. And while he did have a lot of big hits, a lot of people didn't know some of the other great things that he did, like helping a lot of charities, helping people that were in great need. He really kept it pretty private mostly. And a lot of his music, too, was donated. The royalties were donated to like a lot of charities and stuff.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We have got a great guest with us today. George Rapitis joins us here on the broadcast. So George, how do we get all this? Because obviously we want to send people to the websites. We want to send them to social media. Where do we see all this stuff? How do we consume everything you've got out there?
Oh, wow. Well, for starters, if they want to get the book, it's available on Amazon.com. At the website, they can either get the ebook. If they get the ebook, I have several links in there to all the great videos of George Michael, a lot of the rare ones, the concert footage, and then they could also get the paperback copy of the book too. So they have two options if they go on Amazon.com, and I can give them the link too, or if they just search George Michael, the Singing Greek, it's right in there.
So tell us a little bit about the writing process for this incredible book here.
Oh, wow. Well, I've been, like I said, I've been a lifelong fan, so I've always been collecting on him, different things. So I've kind of started it off with some of the concerts I've been to of his that I made a lot of notes after. So some of the excerpts from the book are actually from the concerts that I've been to for George Michael. And then I just added in a lot of the interesting things that he did for people that, like there was a waitress that was in great debt, and he overheard her talking, and he gave her a check, but he made sure that she got it after he left because he wanted to be anonymous. And I was just putting together a lot of these stories, encounters that I heard like after he died. A lot of things I heard after he died. I started putting things together, and I thought, this would be a great book. A lot of things people don't know about him.
We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on our big program. So George, what's been the feedback and, any negative feedback, anything on the book?
Oh, well, mostly it's been positive. Like a lot of the fans, this year they were actually supposed to release another anniversary, about George Michael, one of his albums called Older, and the fan club wasn't able to release it because of everything going on. So people are, a lot of the fans, they're looking for anything they can get on George Michael. So I thought, this would be perfect. This is something they could add to their collections. And Mostly it's been positive because people they want more stuff from him, especially like new music. They would love to hear new music, anything that's been like in his vault or files that hasn't been able to be released. So, I mean, anything they can get their hands on, people would love new stuff from him. And I thought, well, this book would be just perfect.
Fantastic, fantastic. So tell me about the writing process for the book.
Well, the writing process, like I was saying, comes from a lot of the concerts that I've been to of his. It's also coming from my personal experiences. Like I also do song like karaoke. I've been in karaoke contests, and I performed on stage as George Michael. So I mean, everything just sort of comes together, you know. My personal experiences, and then actually being at a lot of his shows and stuff I've collected about him. I've had like jackets made, like airbrush jackets of George Michael that I wear, and I go to this thing. It's called Back to the '80s in Frankenmuth here in Michigan, and it's like a big '80s convention. They have it every year in April, like the last actually the last week of April, they do a '80s convention, and all these people who love the '80s go to this show, and it's like thousands of people, and much of them are dressed up as people from the '80s, like Mr. T. There was a family there that was a Prince family. They were all dressed like as Prince, like even their baby that they brought to this '80s fest. They even dressed the baby up as Prince. So a lot of '80s freaks, I guess.
Wow. We have got we've got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on our big program. And so what is next for you as an author, my man?
Well, you know, now I'm thinking of doing another book that would feature Prince now, maybe a tribute to Prince as well. Because they had Prince and George Michael, they actually had a lot in common. They both were not really fond of their record companies. Like their creativity a lot of times was not allowed to. A lot of the companies wouldn't allow them to be as creative as they'd like to. Like Prince, remember he named himself a symbol. I don't know if you remember back then. He was so upset with his record company, so he was like. He changed his name to the artist formerly known as Prince, just to make his record company, just to spite him a little bit. So I thought something like, Prince tribute would be next.
We have got a great guest with us today. Joins us live here on our big broadcast. And before we let you go, how do people find you on social media, the websites, everything?
Well, they can find me actually right on Facebook, George Rapitis on Facebook. They can find me on Instagram as Chefy Geo, Twitter also as Chefy Geo too.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, you are amazing. Thanks for doing this, brother, and thanks for coming on, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for being with us, man.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Really appreciate it. There he goes. That is George Rapitis, and we are going to take a time out. When we come back, we have